Nomoi, it is Joinen, and you may not know this about me, but I am a qualified designer. And so we have a little series here where I look at some of the worst designs on the internet and I give my little 2 cents. Most of the time, it is not relevant because I have a design degree in digital media and most of this is like photos of actual things. But here we are, still doing it. People like watching it. First up, the Caldwell police roll out new autism awareness vehicle. Police, this is autism. Sensory sensitivity, heightened awareness, communication differences. I don't know about this one. I don't think that's gonna have the intended effect. I don't know what effect it's gonna have, to be honest. And I don't really know what effect they were even going for, but whatever it is, it ain't matching. It ain't adding up. Famously low sensory input, those police cars. It's like sensory sensitivity. That's not something you think about when it comes to police cars. We should raise awareness about autism. How much does a car that says autism on it really do for anyone? And then a bunch of like little descriptions. Love. This is love. This is autism. Love. Graphic design wise, I'm gonna say it. We're using a few too many different fonts. These fonts and their styling, we're not jiving very well. And whatever message you're trying to bring forward to the table doesn't really fit the like police car vibes. I don't know. I'm giving it a, maybe want to rethink that one before you whack it on the side of a car. Imagine getting arrested in that. Let's move on. All right, here we go. You choose the red pill or the blue pill. Which one's it gonna be? You know, it's not that bad. I know it doesn't make any sense, but if you think about it, you kind of are one of two people. Like if this is a public restroom and you're gonna wash your hands, there kind of are the warm water people and the cold water people. I get that that's not really the issue. You just turn both on and then you gotta go like this. Or because you have to hold the button down and you only get to, that's the real design crime. The taps that don't have like a 10-second release or something and you just have to hold the button down and then you can only wash one hand at a time. How does that, like, how do you wash your hand with one hand? But anyway, you've got to press down and then quickly go. And then if you quickly swap back and forth enough, you can moderate the temperature to your desired heat. Honestly though, like I say, I actually kind of get it. I feel like depending on what you're feeling, maybe you just want cold water or maybe you want warm. Like we could assume the red is warm and then it's not that weird. Oh, damn. Speaking of bad design, I have this mini fan right above my mouse. That is not going to be the first time I slice my fingers up. This one is a classic. If we were doing terrible design bingo, there's no way this wouldn't be on there. You got the faces onto the bumpy moving objects and stuff. I enjoy them. Like they're bad in their own way. If you're supposed to take them seriously, obviously it's bad, but it's kind of fun. Like we don't hate it. So an artist in Paris has made a sculpture that is supposed to be a modern rendition of a Christmas tree. But is it really? This is either not real, it doesn't even look real, I maybe don't believe that it's real, but if it is, the artist knew. The artist knew, but it's not even really the artist's fault because they got away with it. It's someone else's, can you show that on YouTube? A Christmas tree? I can show a Christmas tree on YouTube. Looks fake though. That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily think it's real. If it was, every person along the line made the decision to like let that pass. And so you either know what you're doing or you don't, in which case you shouldn't be in charge of putting giant things in public spaces. Volume markings and a window to see the fill level. What am I looking at? Oh, okay. Water goes in there. Volume markings and a window to see this. Why would you need them to line up? I guess, is it because that the max is past the window? So is this a thing that we're filling up with water and the issue is that max is past the window? Oh, when they say line up, they're expecting the whole thing to be like notched down so that the max is at the top. I get it, but it's not that big a deal. I feel like these videos are always me just being like, yeah, but get over it. It's not that bad, right? Just don't fill it up past the window. It looks like a Wi-Fi thing. Yeah, I thought it was a router. Oh, first person didn't get it either. I don't get it. Is it that the 8-liter mark got printed slightly off center? More of a manufacturing issue, not a design one. Not off center, but rather the max fill line is above the window. It is the point that the max fill line is above the window. Move on. It's not that bad. You should make a tier list of how bad the design is. Yeah, next time we should maybe tier list them. I wonder what it is though. It's just a black box that you fill up with water. The design on the bag the turkey came in looks like mold. Oh, that's a design? All right, now we're getting into some bad designs. Why would they ever do that? Why did they even need to make it a funky color? Look at this stroke of green. What is it supposed to be? I guess they're just going for like some color just to make it not one color for no reason at all. Brother, ew. Yeah, that is like straight up, you just wouldn't buy it. Doesn't even matter. Because first of all, who is actually gonna look at it that hard? Start picking apart the plastic, trying to see if the meat underneath is, whether that's just a design print or whatever. No one's even thinking about it that long. They're looking at it going, okay, so not the turkey that's got green mold on it. I guess if it was in a line and every single turkey had the exact same green mold part.
Would you eat it though? And why did they buy it?
If I already had it, I'd still eat it. Especially if you can make sure, like if you can tell that it is just a graphic, you know? Not that bad. Why did they buy it? I mean, I guess, like I say, if you could compare it to the other turkeys and see that they all have the exact same mark and it is just a design, then there's technically no reason to not buy it. Still though, absolutely shocking design. That is genuine bad design. If it were going on a tier list, would that make it at like an A, or are we talking F? Like, is the tier list of how bad it is? Or, I don't know. It took me 5 minutes to figure out how to activate the water. You had to spin the golden tip? Nope. Nope. I don't know if I ever would have known. I don't think I ever would have figured out how to turn that one on. I think I would have gone, I don't know. I'll wipe my hands on my pants. Why? Good question. I don't know. Feels like they could have just put a handle there. The only scenario in which I see this as maybe not the worst thing in the world is if it's in someone's house, because then who really cares? I guess you still have to explain to your guests. Also, just a design where you have to touch the tip, where you have to grab the end of where the water comes out, just feels flawed. You have to actually grab the part of where the water's, I don't know, get your dirty hands all over the tap. I wouldn't want it in my house either. I don't think anyone should. What could be a possible advantage? Why would you actually want it? Is there an advantage? You could say space saver, but you could just get like an integrated handle. Like it could be and there is space. There is space for handles or taps. The mirror is uneven. Yeah, the mirror is not centered either. The mirror is off to the left. You just want to wash the soap away that's left in the sink. Everything about that bathroom. Yeah, the longer we look at it, the worse it gets. Hard right angles in a sink. Also not a good idea. The walls look gross. Yeah, I guess it's just plain concrete and they're kind of, I don't know what is going on here. Something about a sideways tap also just doesn't sit right with me. I get that it doesn't really matter, but just there's something philosophical about it. There's something wrong with a tap that comes out from the side. Sideways tap is a crime. Plumbing is cool. Plumbing is uncool. I see it. I see the uncool. Are we thinking this is intentional or are we... Either way, is it bad design? Because let's be real. Okay, all right. First of all, this says plumbing is cool. The text here is saying it looks like it says plumbing is uncool. But let's be real. Either way, plumbing is not that cool. If we're gonna create a big old list of the coolest things, I'm not putting plumbing near the top. It's not getting very near the top at all, really. So as a factual statement, I don't think the fact that it kind of reads plumbing is uncool. What is the purpose of this thing anyway? What actually is it? It almost looks like it has like a watch band coming off the top and bottom, and then you can just wear it on your wrist and it just faces you. It's just for you. Instead of checking the time, you're just checking whether plumbing is cool. Oh yeah, it is. It's like, depends on what mood you're in. Whether you read it as uncool or cool. It's clogged. It's not clogged. That's not clogged. That's what a toilet looks like. That's an S-bend. I don't know the actual plumbing term for it. That's what's going on in your toilet. It's like one of those optimist versus pessimist tests. Yeah, except it's just about whether you think a random trade is cool or not. Maybe it's like, depending on whether you think plumbing is cool, you will see it as cool or uncool. What's funny is that they had depicted a modern P-trap instead of a flawed and outdated S-trap. Then they would not have had this problem. All right, plumbing is uncool. I think I've decided. Here we go, some classic Peanuts pampered pet car. Peanuts pampered pet car. Peanuts pampered pet care. So the paw print is an E. That is a little bit of a stretch. It doesn't really look like an E. I could see it as an A if you rotated it, 90 degrees anti-clockwise. I think that might have been better. But also, don't make them a different color. The paw prints don't need to be black. If we're talking real design here, make them the same color so that you can actually read it as one of the letters and not just a full stop. I don't know if my standards are too low, but at the very least, it's not like filling in for different letters. It's just not good. If you squint, you can see it as an E. It doesn't really look like an E. E's have 3 arms, right? That paw print has 4. Pa-nuts, pumparad, put. Kara. It doesn't really look like any particular letter, but you just have to kind of fill in the blanks and assume. Also, I feel like you potentially could have used peanuts, not for the E, but for something else. I don't know, there's potential there. If you want a fun design element, make sure it works really well, or just don't have it replace letters. You can still have paw prints on your poster. They just don't have to be in place of the letters. Solve for X, impossible mode. Sparking. Wait, what? Totally not an extension cord brand name that could easily be misinterpreted. We're not necessarily talking bad design. We're talking bad branding. 100% tested? It's 100% been tested. I'm sure of it. Sparking extension cable. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's my copium. I'm gonna call it bad branding, good design. I reckon it is good design. An extension cable is not something that you want to be messing around with. You want it to work, right? And you certainly don't want it sparking. You want it to be good, high quality, something that isn't going to be the accidental death of someone. And so if I see packaging that literally says sparking on it, high quality, like it's trying to convince me, and then 100% tested as if they need to tell me that, don't worry, we tested it. I think it is communicating the right message to me, which is don't buy it because you can't really trust it, It is communicating to me that this is a low quality product, and so I am not going to buy it because I don't want to die. So I think it has communicated not what it intended to, but it has communicated a valuable message. So I'm going to call it good design, bad branding, bad marketing, but good design. Honeymoon inspired ankle tattoo. Trust. Oh no. Trust. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Cleo. Wait a second. Wait, hold on. I feel like I've grown so numb to these that you just read it wrong and then you move on. But how the heck do you ever actually read that in the right direction? So the N is putting in work here, and you've got to be reading the N twice. So it's like trust no one. It's assumed that you read this one first. Don't catch me trusting anyone on my honeymoon. Honeymoon inspired ankle tattoo. Clearly their honeymoon went quite poorly. Yeah, exactly. Instantly I knew what it said, but then the more I looked at it, the more confused I got. Like, if anything, you would read it as trust 1-O-E. Trust 1-O. The trust is fine. Although, to be fair, I've always hated this type of R because it looks like an N. But anyway, oh no. Trust, that's what it is. Trust, oh no. Trust, oh no, Cleo. On O. Trust on O. It's bad. Whatever it is bad. Certified terrible design. This ad for jeans, apparently made by people who have never been skiing. Is it because he doesn't have the skiing poles? I guess jeans are not a perfect skiing attire, but is that what we're upset about? Who skis like that? Well, they're not skiing at the moment. They're pausing for a fun little lighthearted bonding moment. Hey! He's come down to the bottom of the hill. hey, you did it. Good job skiing. He's throwing his sticks away. And then he's gone, yeah, I did it. I did my first downhill. Now I'm here. I made it. I survived. And she's like, yeah, jumps on his back. And he's like, woo, we're having so much fun in our jean suits. I guess the point is that denim is bad for skiing. Who wears jeans to ski? You know what? I'm going to sidestep that whole issue. And I'm actually going to talk about the design here. First of all, this holiday rush text, bleh, bleh. This is bad. Sure, it's a bit of a holiday themed font. Fine, we can embrace that. We can get behind that. Brother, the texture? Oh, I just realized my lemon light isn't on. Whoops. Now we're talking. There's some, okay. I just put my hand into the fan again. There's like this rough gray texture, gradient in the text. Gradients? Sure, gradients are kind of coming back in, but not like this. We're not doing a light to dark textured gradient in gray. It's holiday rush. We're supposed to have fun colors. Give us some white and red or something, you know? Give us a little bit of stroke around these edges. All you've done is done a little drop shadow onto the hard edges of the textured gradient overlay. I'm not about that. And it just blends in to your kind of grayish blue background. Does not stand out. And then you've got people in denim jeans, blue against the blue sky. So like, not an ounce of contrast to be detected. You could have used your Levi's red. You could have used this color right here, use that same white and red and the holiday rush, get some kind of, you know, get a palette going. It's so drab. There's too much white for such a joyous event. Exactly. They're trying to show, oh, look at how much fun we're having in a jean, what's it called? A jean suit. And we get blue, gray, bleh. Their faces aren't even lit very well. I suppose that's not really the point because our eyes are supposed to be drawn to the jeans, but it's not really. And this tree on the right, that's not part of it. If you paid a designer to do this, they can get rid of this tree. It does not need to be there. This holiday rush, get rid of the tree, move the people over to the right, have the holiday rush as its own text. It's on top of the product you're trying to show. I'm not about this design. It is just a bad design in general. I don't even care if jeans are a bad idea to go skiing in. Get them doing some snow angels or something. I'm not invested because it's an ad. The ad doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense that people would be skiing in jeans. Maybe embrace that. Go further in. Get them doing their snow angels. Get them, I don't know, sitting with their legs dangling in a frozen lake with a hole cut out. Just something dumb to draw people's attention. It's just a bad design. I don't like it. Bad design and not in a fun way. All right, so here's the original design and here's my fixed one. I don't know. Look, it's not perfect. There's a little funny around the edges here, but it was a quick mock-up. It's a proof of concept. I'm not going to spend all day working on this thing. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, here's both designs side by side. Designer fixes bad designs. Future video. Anyway, worst place to put a Kensington lock. I can already see the comments. I can already see the chat. Chat's going, oh, tell me about it. I hate poor positioning of Kensington locks. It's everybody's worst nightmare. Granted, sure, a little bit annoying that it's blocking your Ethernet cable port there, but it's not a common issue. But then again, that doesn't mean that doesn't make a good design. Just because most people don't care or don't even know what a Kensington lock is, doesn't mean it's good design. Maybe blame your lock. Maybe there's slimmer profile Kensington locks out there. Sorry, what's a Kensington lock? Well, it's this thing. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Maybe not best design for end table at hotel where you place items in the dark before a bed. So in other words, just not a great design for a bedside table. And I'm gonna have to agree. What went wrong here? The forbidden cheese. Who decided to have an entire wedge cut out of the table? Oh, hold on. Whoa, if you stare at it the right way, it's not a cutout. It's got like a weird pyramid sticking out. This thing is like close to you. Like if you stare at it long enough, it pops out the other way. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun in its own way. Like good design for that purpose as a little optical illusion. Pac-Man. Pac-Man people are incorrect. This is clearly cheese. Gray Pac-Man versus gray cheese. Where are we dropping? I can see it. I can't unsee it. You reckon there's like a wedge that goes into it? What is the purpose? What are you putting there? And not only that, it's like stone on the bottom. So when you're putting your phone down, you're literally just dropping your phone onto stone. Cheese gang, Pac-Man gang. Look, I originally saw cheese, but it kind of gives Pac-Man if I'm gonna put in my vote. The cutout is for cables and stuff. I don't think, the cables can still go down on the other side of the table. Cake. There's also cake gang. Hey, you probably don't have to worry about ghosts with that table though. Clearly that guy's Pac-Man gang. Good call. The tree forms the eye in the Christmas and places an eye in Merry as well. Merry Christmas. This is the thing. It seems like the designers out there just don't care. They don't care about this replacing the letter thing. They just, any excuse to replace a letter with a thing, they're onto it. Doesn't matter whether it makes sense or stuffs up the rest of the design or makes your Merry into a Mayri. It being a different color though too, my head kind of dismisses the tree from the whole thing. I'm reading Merry Christmas, like no I in there. The house could also be a letter. Yeah, well, if we're introducing other things into the mix, then who knows? It's a free-for-all out there. Anything could be a letter. As soon as you introduce the idea that this tree could be a letter, now any of it could be. The house next to Merry, absolutely. That could be an A. Not that it would matter. A Merry Christmas would still kind of work. A Merry Christmas. It's getting you to say it in a certain way. A Merry Christmas. Why are the beads on one side only? Well, it's clearly not a symmetrical design. So they're trying to give it some, little pizzazz. That deer is not making the jump either. Whatever it's jumping to, nope. Oh, and it's being stabbed by the star. It's literally got a star through its stomach. Green off, blue on. Green is off, blue is on. I feel like, why not green on, blue off? So that's what I was gonna say. Here's the real question. Is green off, blue on better or worse than blue off, green on? Tell me in the chat whether you're green off or blue on. What makes more sense to you? Green off or green on? Green on is better. No color for off. I assume it's like so that you can tell whether, there's like, standby. Sort of like, is it receiving power? Like you want some sort of color. Obviously the answer is red. Like what the off needs to be red and then the other one can be blue or green. Doesn't really matter. Green on. Everyone's saying green on. I think I would agree. Blue feels like a standby color. We're just getting by. We're living. But green is like, all right, we're on because green is go. Green means go. Blue, look, we're on. So even if we were going to use green and blue, I reckon they've still got it the wrong way around. You wouldn't know. Without that sign, without the little label, you wouldn't know. You would have no idea. You see green, you would assume on. You see blue, actually, you see blue, you might not necessarily assume it's on. You could assume that it's just sort of illuminating to let you know that the button is there. So they got it wrong. Even with those color choices, they got it wrong. Ow! I did it again. Third time. Oh. This is a classic. This is such a classic. This is a common scenario. I feel like everyone knows what this is like because everyone has ran in to a bed like this. What am I looking at? It's a bed. It's a bed frame. What is this? It's a bed. It's a mattress in a bed frame and you're losing your shin every other night. I've done it on my own bed countless times and it's like, it's not that bad. Obviously they try their best. I think it's a common issue with beds. It's just the classic bed design. If you're gonna fit your mattress in, then how do you have the thing that it's sitting in? You know what I mean? It builds character to have your shins shaved off every other night. It does, actually. It helps you learn to deal with bouts of anger. There's a few things in life that for some reason just make you instantly angry. I'm not really an angry person. I don't get angry, really. Except for knocking your shin. That's one of them. You just need a moment. No one can even say anything. Even if someone is saying like, oh, did you hit your shin? You're like, just don't. Don't say anything. I am just writing this out. I am trying my hardest to survive right now without like hurting myself further by like punching a wall or something. Then the other version is biting your lip or cheek. It is impossible to not get immediately insanely angry when you bite your lip or cheek. Instant mood killer. It dies down. It's like eating some wasabi or something. It's like, whoa, and then it kind of just goes away. But for that 30 seconds or something, then it happens again, and then again. I finally learned the virtues of patience and serenity, and all it cost was the feeling in both of my shins. Hey, I don't know if you wrote that or a famous poet did, but that's bars. Oh, I gotta read that. Is it gonna crop off if I? No, we're good. Help Antonio find his friend. Follow the arrows hidden in the diamonds to help guide you in the correct direction. An X means you went the wrong way. If you uncover an X, go back and try and find another direction. Huh? Wait, so you color it in? Do you color it in and then the arrows appear? And I guess you're supposed to then get your way there, but the arrows just lead you right off the page. I feel like that requires a lot of like background information to what this thing even is. It says Disney. This is copyright Disney. I mean, yeah, if I'm understanding what it is, then it's bad design. I don't think there's much more to say about it. Dog washing station. Can I pet that dog? Now that is a dog. People with Saint Bernards be like. I get the idea that putting in an animal in there is to kind of show a sense of scale. And frankly, I'm not sure what to believe because it's either a very small bear or that's a very large washing station. Like maybe they're trying to communicate to us that this is a giant washing station. I guess they could have put a dog in. It would have helped, would have done the same thing. But bear does kind of communicate that what we're looking at is a giant pet washing station. Like this here, they're like human-sized steps, like one at a time. He's a good boy. Certified still a good boy though. Maybe it's just for like those people on like the Russian Instagram reels. Sometimes you gotta wash your bear. Where else are you gonna do it? In the river? That thing's frozen over. What the dog doing? Premium headphones don't charge with sports fittings, so I have to remove the in-ear fitting and the sports fitting every time I need to charge them. Infuriating. Oh, they got like little nubs. They got like little rubber nubs that go into your ear. You gotta pull them off and absolutely not lose them every time you want to charge them. That's fantastic design. I don't see the problem. That actually is awful. That is bad product design. Wacky looking charger. Yeah, because they're trying to solve a problem that they created where they decided to charge the buds by the tip. I hope they have a long battery life. Yeah. Hope they literally never die. Charge them up once before you put them in your ears. Yep, bad design. I don't think anyone is going to disagree. I don't think anyone is like, no, actually, I actually really like that I have to take the nubbin out every time I want to charge my headphones. We're not getting any hot takes with this one. Oh, we got a video. And apparently it's disgusting. Hand dryer at popular coffee chain. Just, are we talking Starbucks? Just blows water all over you. It's like a jump scare. That's actually funny. It's funny. It's bad. Obviously it's bad, but that is just funny. So obviously, like I've used ones like that plenty times before. I think the issue is not necessarily the design. It's like, well, it is, but it's also, we're talking an airflow issue here. That airflow is way too dang high. You can't have Dyson level airflow when you're blowing it straight into the sink. You can clean your shirt afterwards. The air intake gotta be 3 miles wide. Dads in the cruise ship bathroom be like, the sign in front of the chessboard world chess championship. Fide World Cham Hamp Onch Bip Singapore Gapore 2024. What? I can't even understand why. Some of these other ones, like we make fun of them because it's like, oh yeah, they're silly. Oh, because you can read it wrong. How did they even do this? Like, what was the thinking behind it? How do you even end up with a sign that looks like that? Usually we can work out what the designer was thinking, where they're like, oh, I don't know. Then you read this way and then you read it this way. There is no way with this. Why is it like that? AI generated text. Yeah, it looks like an AI generated image. And then the sign at the front. Fide World Cham Hamp on ship Singapore Gapore 2024. Singapore Gapore 2024. Designer had a bad day. I don't know how you even, there is no way I can figure out how someone ends up with that. Why is it duplicated and one word gets cut off? That's what I'm saying. Why are we repeating the word again, but one of them's cut off? How do you mess up this badly? That's what I want to know. Like, actually how? Bus seat pocket has no bottom and is too loose to hold anything. Oh, well, it's just for holding the right thing. It's for holding your scarf. I guess just giving it the benefit of the doubt here. It probably was tighter back in the day. And over time, it sort of loosened up to the point of just being floppy. And now it doesn't function anymore. But when it was brand new, it was probably quite tight. And that friction would hold something. It's for luggage? What do you mean? What do you mean it's for luggage? What luggage? It's just a fidget toy. Just play with the floppy thing on the chair. I still want to know how we're using this for luggage. All right, that was a joke. Oh, I thought you had some big brain thing where you're like, oh, what you do is you hook your luggage up through the thing. These globe decorations decided to leave Europe out. Americans drawing a world map. Yeah, well, not great design. They got the gist. Crap hook. This book is meant to say scrapbook. The crap book. That's not an S. That is not an S. The B I can see, but how is that any type of S? Nah. Look, like if you're starting the S here and you're going, and then it goes back this way. Absolutely not. That is a crap book. It's a crap hook. At the very most, a crap book. Calligraphy join it. Yeah, but it doesn't look like an S. Font color. I'm saying even if it was the right color, obviously the font color is an issue here. That needs to be reworked, but that is the vaguest looking S. I'm sure it's its own thing. I'm sure it's its own style. Somehow in some sort of calligraphy course, you get taught to do an S like that. But I just simply disagree. I disagree on fundamentally with the idea that that should be an S. Calligraphy should still resemble the letter. Exactly. Oh no, we've seen these before. Those are stairs. You can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. At a mate's place, they had one step down into their living room and they had kind of the same thing. It was wooden and I can confirm I have toppled, ended up on my hip on the ground. And that was just one step onto wood. This, you're trying to get someone killed. Absolutely awful. At the very least, put some sort of strip on the end of the steps so that you can see, but no, just no. As a victim of these types of steps, I can confirm, not good design. What? Oh, it's a website. www.office.co. Oh, it's saying it twice. So this is the easier one. It's so hard. It's so hard to read. Let me check the website. It's for sale. $100,000 US. I don't think it is Office. Is it a D? This is genuinely difficult to read. Is that not an O? Is it a D? D, genuinely the worst one I've seen because I actually cannot read it. I actually don't know. I don't know what it is, which I think makes it the worst text design we've ever seen. And it's on a car, so the car would be moving. Where would you like to see a new NHL team play? Oh, that is some dodgy graph usage right there, if I've ever seen one. The difference here, 54, 47, 47, 24. I don't think so. That is insanely misleading. There's no way. These should be so close together. And then this one should be roughly half. This is how you skew your data. Yeah, sure. Like obviously it's skewed data, but it's also just like wrong. It's just an incorrect graph. The alphabet matte with barely matching graphics. Wait, what? Do they need to match? Oh, the thing inside is supposed to be, got it. So it's like A is for, what are they? Christmas lights or something? B is for blueberry or berries in general. C is for bricks, concrete in between bricks maybe. D is for, what is that? I can't even see what that is. E is for eopcorn. Is that popcorn? F is for flock. G is for gorder. H is for hat. I is for Iga. J is for Jane Bow. K is for Kerry's. L is for leaves. Is that leaves? I think we got one. M is for mumbles or something. N is for Nerica. O is for allouds. P is for papa. Q is for, I'm not gonna say that one. Oh, Q is for quack. Yeah, Q is for quack. R is for Ras. S is for Sepid. T is for pepperoni pizza. U is for Uos. V, Veons. W, Weebra. Z-nuts. Yortamelon. And Zoot Loops. Zerial. At first I thought we were having a go at the fact that it like looks gaudy. And I was like, nothing wrong with it. And then I realized that we're like, oh, we're using images to show what the letter is for. Maybe in some language this works. Anyway, that's another one. Done. Which one did you think was the worst? Do you have any examples in your day-to-day life of some terrible designs? Let me know. And I'll see you guys next time.